So far, the shoe conversation has been centered primarily around straight line running, both distance and sprinting. But what's the best option when it comes to lifting shoes? Heel strike and reach. First up, let's start with Olympic lifting shoes. These shoes have two key benefits. The first is an elevated heel wedge. That artificially increases your dorsiflexion, allowing you to get deeper into your squat position, which does have the tendency to make you a little more quad dominant with your squatting, which if your goal is weightlifting, then that's great. But for most athletes, chasing extra knee flexion and extra quad load is rarely the goal. The second benefit for an Olympic lifting shoe is the solid, firm base. When you're trying to lift something heavy or create power, having something soft and squishy on your foot makes it really hard to generate that force. But an Olympic lifting shoe isn't the only option if you want a solid, firm base. Another great option to provide a solid base and to remove the squishiness of a normal sneaker is something like a Chuck Taylor or a Van. These guys, as a bonus to being solid and stable, are also zero drop. So they're a great option when it comes to core lifting, deadlifting, or just a general all-round gym lifting shoe. Another option in the zero drop all-round gym shoe is a barefoot or a minimalist shoe, something like the Vivo. Just like the Chuck Taylor and the Olympic lifting shoe, a minimalist shoe doesn't have any foam or any cushioning to squish around under your foot. Most of them also have super thin 4mm thick soles, which allow you to feel the ground, allow your intrinsic muscles of your foot to go to work. The other benefit is the wide toe box allows your toes to spread and grip the ground. Because Vivos are so lightweight and flexible, they won't get in the way of natural movements like crawling and Turkish get-ups either. Now Vivos aren't the only option. There's heaps of brands that do a minimalist shoe with a wide toe box. Now one brand that's not currently technically doing a barefoot shoe, but that probably will very soon, is Nike. Now in the free range, they do have a 1.0, but it only comes in women's at the moment, and it still has a narrow toe box. In the men's, the lowest you can go is a 3.0. But in saying that, Nike Frees are still a pretty good gym shoe. They've got a pretty flat sole, there's not a huge amount of cushion, so it's not going to squish under your foot, and they're super lightweight, so they're incredibly comfy. A Nike Free, or something similar, is a great option if you're combining your lifting with what we call track time, doing some cutting, jumping, or sprinting technique work. If you're doing that, it's going to be harder to do that in the Chuck Taylor. Something like the Free, or similar, is going to be a much better, more versatile option. And then the last shoe I want to discuss today is a traditional running shoe. Now, if you have motion control or foot-based problems at the moment, switching to barefoot, like I've said before, is probably not a smart idea right now. But for the rest of us, this shoe, when it comes to the gym, is okay, but it's far from perfect. If you're lifting light to intermediate type weights, you're not going to notice the difference. But as you start to get stronger, that squishiness and that instability under the foot is going to ruin your ability to produce force. The other effect of a bulky shoe is it ruins your proprioception and your ability to feel the environment. So you won't be able to grip the ground and get that sensation from the feet. So what's the best shoe to lift in? For your track time, your plyometric, your sprint technique work, the first place goes to the shoe you play in. Now, this is probably the best option. It's got a nice controlling upper, a good heel lock, and it's what you're going to play in, so you want to replicate that. Second place though, it goes probably to something like a Nike Free, equally with a minimalist shoe if you're making that transition, or even the structured running shoe. It's going to provide a bit of arch support if that's what you need, and it's also going to provide good grip, but also a good upper to lock your foot in. And for your strength training, if you're going to Olympic lift or front squat, I'd probably use an Olympic lifting shoe. It's going to provide that extra range of motion so you can get in your positions. For all the other heavy lifting, I think first place goes to your minimalist shoe because you've got the wide toe box, not much cushioning under here, and you're flat so you can feel and work through the ground. But second place, I would say goes to the Chuck Taylor or the Van, and then third to something that's not too much cushion, but is also pretty lightweight. The hidden side of this vlog is sock color is just as important as shoe selection.